So this is Andrew
and Dave
for Retro Nostalgia, and we're about to bite the bullet and watch the travesty that is one Thundercats Roar. I actually already watched this last night and definitely have a lot to say. And David's about to take the plunge and watch it, and I'm about to take the plunge for a second time and rewatch it, and then we'll be back with our thoughts, so stay tuned. Alright, so a lot to say. Just finished the episode a little bit ago. Episodes, because it's an 11-minute long per episode show. They released 2, and they named both episodes Exodus, so it's Exodus Part 1 and 2, just like the original Thundercats show. So I know I definitely have something to say, and Dave made a lot of good points while we were watching it, so I'm going to let him go first, so go ahead.
Okay, so here's my thing. With this current trend of this particular animation and parody reboot is what I'm going to call it, because that let's face it, that's what it is. Ultimately, it's a parody of the shows that we grew up with, that we love, that we remember fondly.
Yeah, because Teen Titans Go definitely fits right in the same category.
Exactly.
As all this.
So now here's my issue with this, right? When they do this type of cartoon in regular show, in We Bare Bears or Steven Universe, I can deal with this. Right, Adventure Time. I can deal with that kind of shit. All right, so like it
Clarence,
fits
the gem that was Clarence.
Yeah, right. So like these things don't bother me because it's really, honestly, it all breaks down to I am easily amused. I fucking love stupid humor. I love poop jokes. I love jokes that go over kids' heads. Like, as an adult, these are the things that I still love. Stupid humor.
You could say, shit, we're not family friendly anymore because of fucking Copa, remember?
Right. So, but anyway, my point is, when there is already an established universe and an established lore and continuity that I grew up with, that I love, that we all grew up with, that we all love, we all remember fondly, and they do this shit to it. They give it this fucking treatment, the Teen Titans Go treatment is what I'm going to call it. It's shit. It's absolute shit, and it's
shit on the legacy.
It's a slap in the face, and it's really fucking annoying. It is what it boils down to. It really seriously irks the kid in me. Everything in me that loves Thundercats, that loves Teen Titans, it's okay when they do it on Robot Chicken, because all right, so like it's meant to be a parody. We're aware of this. We know that Robot Chicken is a fucking parody. We get that. They're not marketing these shows as parodies to the adults who grew up and loved these fucking shows. They're marketing these shows
as this is what that is to kids, so kids are now getting the wrong impression about what this whole franchise is all about.
Exactly. So my issue is that this is how they're introducing this continuity, this lore, these characters, these universes to our kids, and that is ultimately my major fucking issue with these shows.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, so you brought up Robot Chicken, and I'd have to agree, because Robot Chicken has done a few Thundercats bits on their show. Difference being that is meant to be an outright parody. It's marketed towards adults that are familiar with the brand, and this isn't. This is meant to be, all right, like for instance, and I'm going to bring up a point, I've seen this said a lot, but it has some fair, I'm at a loss for the word I want to use right now. It's a good point, is just what I'm going to say. And that's, everybody keeps bringing up the 2011 reboot, which I know you still have not seen. I watched it religiously when it was on, and I have it all on DVD as well. But so with the 2011 reboot, is they changed a lot, but the animation style on it I thought was pretty awesome. It was a little more anime-ish than what we're used to, even though you can kind of argue from a certain standpoint that even the original Thundercats, to a degree, kind of had an anime look about it. But I mean, that just all comes from it being Rankin Bass. Rankin Bass always kind of had like a anime-ish. And I feel like I'm misdirecting by saying that, because it's not full-on anime, but they had something going on with their animation that kind of gave that, like, especially with their intros.
Right.
Like, you look, even with Silverhawks, you can take a look at that and see a little bit of the, I was going to say influence. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's right up anime, because it's not, but I'm going to say there's a little bit of that influence in there. But with the 2011 one, they told a different story, and you'll see. I'll make sure you get to see it. And it was interesting, and I really wanted to see where that was going. But everybody is so fucking misdirected when it comes to the 2011 one, because they always think that show ended strictly because people weren't watching it. It's not the case. There was actually a lot of people watching it. So to set that record straight, the 2011 show ended because of the lack of toy sales. They created that show to sell a line of action figures. I, at the time, had all the main figures that they put out, as well as the Thunder Tank and the Tower of Omens playset and the Sword of Omens, because, I had that for the collection. But I don't think that this show is targeted to market any kind of merchandise whatsoever. But my point is, so because merchandise wasn't selling for the other show, they scrapped it, and this is what they're putting out. So rather than giving kids a 22 to 30 minute long actual story to watch, they're going to feed them this bullshit, which is just stupid humor for 11 fucking minutes, because I guess, kids don't have any kind of an attention span anymore.
No, dude, I feel like kids today only watch TV to, like, eat.
Yeah.
When they're eating, that's when kids are sitting.
And then that's the other thing. From my understanding, this isn't even being broadcast on the actual Cartoon Network channel. This is exclusive to the app, which is even stranger. But,
I mean,
no,
I get that. I don't want to turn on... It's very rare that I turn on Cartoon Network for my kids anymore. But
yeah,
I don't want to fucking turn on Cartoon Network and this shit come on.
Right? I agree. Because my whole point is, it's kind of like, with stuff like this, I don't really think it's necessary to reboot it, and here's why. Because the originals exist, so you can just rebroadcast that. So, for instance, when you and I watched Thundercats for the first time, it would have been like 97 or 98, and would have been on the original Toonami.
Right.
And we were being... That's our introduction to Thundercats, being born early 90s, me being born 1990, you being born 93. And the thing is, okay, so I don't know, because I want to say the original series ended in either 88 or 89, thereabout. But we didn't know anything about it until the end of the decade in which we were born. So they reran those shows for us rather than rebooting it. I don't really understand why you can't still do the same thing. And I know there's detractors out there that would say something like, well, because cartoons, boomer, all that stupid shit. And it's like, then, okay, so you're going to you rather your kid watch something fucking mindless rather than a show that was put together. And let me get this out there, because this is, like, you can look this shit up. This is 100% factual. When the original Thundercats was produced, they actually brought in child psychiatrists to formulate the overall message and theme that they're putting into each story, and they'd craft the story around those themes that they wanted to teach. So I'm not thinking that anything harmful is going to come out of it. Your kids would actually fucking learn about morality. God forbid.
And that's my issue with these.
There's no lessons anymore. They're not trying to teach kids shit. And then...
I mean, like, it's been overdone. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog had that Sonic Says fucking segment at the end of every episode. But, it's... That may have been taking it too far every episode. Right. I don't want safety lessons shoved down my kid's throat. But... I don't
take it over, right?
Yeah, I don't want my kid to walk away from the TV a mindless fucking idiot.
Yeah,
either.
So I guess the last point that I was going to make is something that I both loved and hated about it, and that's the fact that they do use the original music from the actual original Thundercats show, and I love that because I love that music. But unfortunately, it's being used for this, which is a slap in the face. They have Snarf being a robot, which where the fuck did that even come from in the first place? Then I think another thing that just is kind of a slap in the face is, and no disrespect, because I'm going to say I'm a big fan and I absolutely love Larry Kenny, aka the original Lion-O, aka Bluegrass from Silverhawks, but he's jogging this, and I don't know. I don't like that. But that's pretty much what we got to say about them. We're going to wrap it up. So until next time, this is Andrew.
And Dave.
For Retro Nostalgia. And thank you for checking us out. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.